you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the big show. We certainly appreciate you guys being here. As always, the Chris Voss Show is a family that loves you, but doesn't judge you, at least not as harshly as your mother-in-law, because, you know, she liked Bob anyway. She was hoping her daughter would marry Bob, and you just didn't turn out as good as you wanted. But get on her good side. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss. Refer her over the show so that she can have some laughter and enjoyment in her life, as opposed to just wondering where she went wrong with feeling with you. No, I'm just kidding. That's not really true. Anyway, guys, we don't loan you money either as the Chris Voss Show family. We have an amazing young lady on the show with us today. We're going to be talking about her insights, her business, how she built it, and give you guys some ideas on maybe what you can do with your lives and your financial services. Alise Saunders joins us on the show. She is a business and mindset transformation coach, author, and speaker. Her bookkeeping practice, Alise Saunders Financial Services, offers a variety of services to help you create your dream life. Alise is a former controller and human resource director for Hilton Hotel Corporation and regional director for revenue for other luxury hotel brands, but today is helping business owners to overcome everything from imposter syndrome to investigating cash flow or navigating cash flow. She and her husband Greg have 2 sons and have spent over 100,000 consecutive days as digital nomads. There you go. Traveling the U.S., 1 year in Greece, mastering the digital CEO lifestyle. Welcome to the show, Alise. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming. We really appreciate having you. Give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you on the interwebs?
Sure. Alise Saunders Financial Services.com.
There you go. And so give us a 30,000 overview. What you do there, Alise, in your words.
Yeah, so I opened up my bookkeeping practice several years ago, and I absolutely love my life because I get to help coach business owners not only about their business, but also about their life, help them elevate their business to all the things that they had hoped and dreamed of in such a variety of ways, budgeting, forecasting, but also that coaching element that I mentioned earlier.
There you go. And so you help people with financial services. Then what do you do on the business side? Do you do bookkeeping, or do you help other people learn the business?
Yeah, so it's both, actually. So I can come into businesses and help streamline, create efficiencies, solve problems. But I also can do the bookkeeping so that we're looking at the financial aspect of the business and what that story of the financials are telling us, so that we can begin to make more strategic decisions about the business and determine if there's additional revenue streams that we can implement, efficiencies, etc.
There you go. There's always got to be efficiencies. There's always a way to make a business better and everything else. Now, you've been doing the digital nomad thing. How long have you been doing that now for?
Yeah, several years. Like you said in the intro, my husband and I and our 2 cats traveled over 1,000 consecutive days across the U.S. We spent 1 year in Greece, traveling north, south, east, west, all of the islands, just about. It was absolutely amazing, just really embracing that digital CFO lifestyle.
Wow. That's got to be a lot of fun and a lot of craziness. Did you do that over COVID, or was it after COVID? Or
after? Yeah, no, we just got back from Greece a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I mean, I've got a few friends that do that, and it's pretty wild. They can travel around the world. They can do everything virtual, and they just kind of live by the seat of their pants. They don't really have a house anywhere. It's kind of crazy way to live.
Yeah, absolutely. It is incredible. I really feel like I've never been more free. I've never been more full. I've never been more joyous and happy in my own life than traveling and running my business virtually on the road.
Who would have thunk it in 2024 that we'd be able to do all this sort of stuff? I mean, can you imagine being our IBM parents and you're just like, yeah, we're just going to travel and work at the same time. They're like, what? What is that? So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you grow up? How did you get the entrepreneurial bug? And what got you into running your own business eventually?
Honestly, it was one of those things that was just communicated to me in a variety of ways that just wasn't for me. It was just communicated or indoctrinated that I was just going to work for somebody for the rest of my life. That was my lot in life. And there just wasn't anybody in my life that was like, you can own your own business. And so I just got into a job. I got incredibly sick. I had multiple sclerosis, early onset arthritis. I was having digestive issues. And it was just all a wake up call to go, you know what? This is your job. This is not for you. And so I worked really hard, overcame those illnesses, fully recovered, and made the decision, you know what? I need to take these skills that I have and I need to put them to use for myself. And that was when I decided to take the leap without a single client. My husband, Greg, and I made some downsizing decisions, but I decided to take that leap of faith and hung out my own shingle, as they say.
There you go. The leap of faith. I mean, that's how you have to do it. And was this your first exploration into being an entrepreneur?
It was actually. I had started another job previously, another business, but I was waiting on the trademark. There was a trademark issue. And I was like, well, that's being worked out. Let me see what else I can do. And that's really how the bookkeeping business was birthed and how it's just metamorphosized into something so much bigger. Some of my favorite conversations now with clients are overcoming imposter syndrome, because I just don't know a single entrepreneur that hasn't struggled with imposter syndrome. And it seems like at various levels of our evolution as entrepreneurs, we continue to struggle with some type or some level of imposter syndrome.
Let's talk about that. What is imposter syndrome as a definition?
Yeah, so it's where that voice in your head wakes up and says, hey, you're not enough. You don't deserve to be here. You don't have the skills. Nobody's going to listen to you. Or it's already being done somewhere in the world. What makes you so special? You just need to pack up. You just need to go back to whatever you were doing and not do this. You need to quit. You're not good enough. That's what imposter syndrome really is.
Wow. There you go. And I guess a lot of people suffer for it. Why do people suffer for it? They just don't think they're good enough? Is it a self-esteem issue? Is it just low self-esteem, I guess, really, huh?
It's honestly a variety of things, to go back to our childhood where everything stems from. Just think about how many times we were told as kids, don't be messy, don't make a spill, don't, be a problem. And so many ways that communicates to us, everything has to be perfect. And so as we are creating our first business or second or third business, that is really coming in and triggering us saying, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect. Everything has to be spot on. And so we spend so much time feeling like we're not enough. We're triggered anytime that somebody ever rejected us or said that something wasn't up to their expectations. Plus it's fears, right? Fears of being rejected, fear of being laughed at. Oh my gosh, did you hear what they just said? That was so stupid. This is all the fears that are running in the back of our mind, even in our subconscious or conscious level of thought. And so these are the things that are just coming to the forefront. And you're absolutely right, Chris. If somebody is struggling at any level with confidence or self-esteem, it's really going to be triggered in these moments where we're about to step out into the world in a different way and show up like we never have before. And we're afraid. We're afraid of falling. We're afraid of being successful. That comes with its own fears, fear of success, fear of failure. It's all of these things are really being triggered for us. And so I just love those opportunities to be able to help clients overcome those fears and retrain that brain into having some thoughts that are going to empower us rather than weaken us.
Mm-hmm. So what are some ways that you help people overcome that?
Absolutely. So first of all, we dig into what are their specific challenges around imposter syndrome. What are their specific thoughts, right? And we reestablish those beliefs. If the belief is I'm not good enough, we need to disengage ourselves from that belief and say that belief no longer serves me. I'm literally going to wake up today and choose a belief that empowers me. So my belief is that I am fully capable of doing anything that I put action to today. That's just one belief out of many, right? I'm just creating something here on the spot, but it would be customized to whatever works for them. And so then we begin to integrate that new belief into their daily life, catching any time that the conscious or subconscious starts to seep back in with you're not enough, just pack up and quit. This isn't going to work. We need to start training ourselves to catch those thoughts, go, nope, I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to go back to the belief that I'm trying to integrate and really embrace that into our being and say, okay, nope, I've got this. I can do this. I'm not going to give in to those thoughts and, continue to focus on the actions that are moving the business forward. It's a little bit more involved than that, but that's the general process.
There you go. There you go. Belief systems are really what shape us, make us up, and help kind of guide us through life. Really, what we believe is what we achieve, some people say.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's. I've always studied belief systems as I've gone through life and why people believe the things they do, why they keep believing the things they do, even in the face of obvious, seemingly obvious, proof otherwise. And so it's interesting. It's interesting the tack people take. What are some other things that you help clients with that we haven't talked about yet so far in the show?
Sure. I mean, building a business, determining what they are good at. What I'm working with a client right now overseas who's trying to establish a digital nomad life. And I'm not exactly sure, stepping away from my corporate life, what I should be doing. So we're going through a process to help her determine that. I'm also working with another client in California to evaluate their business, determine all of the goal setting and goal planning. They want to make $1 million in the next 12 months. So putting together the plan of action in order to achieve that goal, and then putting in the individual steps on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, evaluating their marketing strategy, etc., in order to be able to achieve that. Of course, there's the bookkeeping, right? Helping people clean up their books, be IRS ready, as I like to say, cash flow analysis, budgeting, forecasting. But yeah, I mean, it's just any need that a business owner has. And, I have the skill set for I always like to say you're getting like multiple people in one, being that I was a controller for Hilton. I was also a human resource director. So just yesterday, I was on the phone with a client in Texas who was wanting to look at their employee base, create a employee handbook, increase their employment staff, handle some employment challenges, as all entrepreneurs have to do from time to time. And so it's really just a myriad of things, anything that business owner needs or wants from a personal or professional development standpoint. Alise Saunders Financial Services is here.
There you go. And you guys offer free consultations so that people can handshake with you, schedule an appointment, talk to you, see if you guys are a fit and how to onboard with you. Is there a minimum financial level client that has to be to work with you?
No, I serve clients that are generating revenue in the millions of dollars, as well as, say, a local photographer is one of my clients as well. And he's making a average American salary as a photographer. It's really no max, no min, which is fantastic.
No max, no min. There you go. Put that on your coffee cup. Put that on your T-shirt. There you go. Well, it's interesting. What is some advice you give to people that want to start their own business and build their own business?
The biggest thing is to step away from the shoulds, right? So much even of the imposter syndrome is built around all of the things that society says that we should be doing as an entrepreneur. I was just speaking with one of my clients the other day who was really spending a lot of money on audio visual, being filmed, having it professionally edited. The revenue generated from those videos isn't quite where we would like it to be, given how much the client was spending each month. And he's, but I have to have this super duper professional level of photography. And I'm like, no, you really don't. There was a woman on YouTube, very famous, millions of followers, and she was filming her videos with a little tripod with a cell phone sitting next to a doorway or a garbage can or in her kitchen. It wasn't this high quality, high professional type audio visual. I'm like, don't get caught up in it has to be this way, because it doesn't. I've seen a lot of businesses and business owners struggle with spending more than they really can afford to, especially in the beginning, because they're caught up into that perfection that I was referencing earlier in the show, where it's like we were just always taught, don't be messy, everything has to be perfect. And that's carrying over as a business owner of I have to show up at this $1 million level when I might only be making a couple $1,000s a month. And so we need to give ourselves some grace. We need to remember that throwing money at things isn't always the solution, and it usually isn't the solution. We need to be creative. We need to be strategic, and we need to step away from that are trapping us from really being able to be successful, from being able to be creative, from being wild, from being our true self, and stepping into our business authentically.
There you go. Step into your business authentically. What does that mean for you when you say that? What is the stepping in your business with authenticity? What does it mean exactly?
I love that question so much. Thank you for asking. Authentically for me means showing up with my own moral code into my business, being who I am. I got a call from a lab the other day, and they wanted me to potentially do their bookkeeping. And the first thing I said is, I've worked with other labs before. I have one question for you. Do you do animal testing? I said, because I don't want to waste your time. I have stepped away from many lab businesses who do animal testing because it's not within my moral code. It's my business. Yeah. I don't have to suck it up, go along to get along, sacrifice who I am in order to be in my business, to get business. I get to stand within my moral code, right? And say, I'm not going to do business with anybody who does moral testing. And I just love the ability to show up and be me, to be candid and honest with people, to share my soul with people in these relationships that I've created with clients, which is just a level of living, of authenticity that I never experienced when I was in the corporate world.
There you go. It's being your own boss, man. It is so self-actualizing. It's really nice. I can't work for other people anymore after all these years. Of course, I've been doing it since 18. It's just heaven. It's great to have control of your life, et cetera, and all that good stuff. Do you help anybody become nomads like yourselves and teach them the nomad way?
I do, actually. Yes, I have a variety of resources for the digital nomad entrepreneur as well. And like I said, I have that client right now overseas that I referenced before, that she wants to create that digital nomad lifestyle. So we're hitting it on all fronts, how she can begin to travel, where to go, how to get started with that, the decisions and choices to make, especially if you're traveling with pets. And then, like I said, creating that business that's going to help her get out on the road and have the life that she really wants. So I absolutely help the aspiring digital nomad as well.
Yeah, I used to have a best friend. I think we're still best friends, but he's always traveling. But yeah, he was traveling the world. He's been doing it for, I don't know, almost a decade plus. And I remember when he said he was going to do it, I was like, "You're crazy, man! This is 10 years ago or something." But Mike Elgin, and he's been doing it ever since. COVID was a bit of a wrinkle, but other than that,
for a lot of people,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it was. We can kind of half laugh about it now. I don't know. It was for everybody, pretty much. I think. I don't know if there was anybody who was. I haven't really been affected by this at all. I mean, I was staying at home before COVID, but everyone kind of joined me. I was like, "Hey, why do you guys don't get to do what I do? What the hell is this all about?" So there you go. As we go out, give people your final thoughts, how they can onboard with you, any final pitch out to people to sign up with your services or reach out to you and see if you guys are a fit together.
Great. Yeah, I would love to give your audience 10 free 30-minute coaching sessions for first come, first serve, right? The first 10 who email me at support@AliseSaundersFinancialServices.com. If you're interested in any of our services, otherwise, just go to AliseSaundersFinancialServices.com and take advantage of that free consultation. Literally free, no charge at all.
There you go. Free consultation. You can get to know her better and see if the services fit and do all the good stuff. Yeah, I think we need more digital nomad stuff because I need to do more of that where I digitally nomad. I was right before COVID, I was gonna buy one of those Mercedes runners. And
we looked at those. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were in love with the Mercedes Sprinter. The Unity, I think it was called.
Yeah, we were going to look at one and turn it into a mobile podcasting van.
I love that idea. I think you so should.
Yeah, and we were gonna, back then we did a lot of events like CES and we drive out to shows, South by Southwest, NAB show. So we were always on the road, and I have 2 Huskies, and I get tired of leaving them home. So I'm like, I can take the Huskies with me. We can have a podcast studio on the roll, and then I can just drive to places at will. I don't have to do that. Jump an airplane, get there on a red eye, leave town on a red eye, try and get back for the dogs. Still thinking about doing that. So there you go. Although we don't do events really anymore. COVID kind of killed that. So there you go. But, traveling, enjoying the world, seeing, stuff. I mean, it's everything. Thank you very much, Alise, for coming to the show. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
There you go. Give us your .coms one last time as we go out.
AliseSaundersFinancialServices.com.
There you go. And thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss won the TikTokity and all those crazy places on the internet. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.